Hello, readers of Every Word, and welcome to Every Word 365. I'm your host, Christina Munoz-Madsen. Today we're reading 1 Kings 20 through 22. There are many ways you can discover that it is dangerous to jump off a 10-story building. You can read about the law of gravity in a book. You can learn from the sad experience of someone who tried it. You can listen to the wise counsel of a physician about the dangers of such a fall, or you can jump. Each provides the information you need. The only difference is the amount of pain involved in gaining that information. God wanted Ahab to learn that he alone is Lord of the nations. Fire at Mount Carmel, victory over vast armies, drought and rain, each was for Ahab's benefit. Then you will know that I am the Lord. Only after being mortally wounded did Ahab learn the lesson. But then it was too late. What about you? Jot down a few of the signs of God's sovereignty that you have observed in recent days. How should you respond? That's a lot from the Daily Walk, but I thought it was so good and really something for us to contemplate and think about. I strongly encourage you to do exactly what it is asking. And if you struggle to come up with something, try asking God to show you some. You might be surprised. Sometimes when we struggle at these things and we just stop and say, hey, God, help me out, He might do just that. So give it a shot. As for our reading, at the very least, we are getting to read about some very colorful characters. Am I right? I'm including a link from Got Questions about a lying spirit. God chose to use a lying spirit because Ahab rejected God's rebukes and warnings all through his life, and the cup of God's wrath was full. Since God is sovereign over all of creation, He is not restricted in what or whom He can use to accomplish His holy purposes. All of creation is under His authority, and He chooses to use people and spirits, both good and evil, to bring His divine plans to pass and bring glory to Himself. Have you ever really thought about that? And then also a link on Ahab and Jezebel. Both Ahab and Jezebel were leaders of God's people who forsook the Lord and served other gods. The royal couple earned a reputation for sin and violence, and they both suffered violent deaths as part of God's judgment on their actions. Those might be names that you've heard about some, or maybe not. So I'm including more links depending on how these readings are going for you. You can always dig for more information. And another link on who Naboth in the Bible was. The Lord was true to His word. Ahab was killed in battle. His blood was washed out of the chariot in the same place where Naboth had been stoned to death. And the dogs were there just as Elijah had said. Jezebel was killed and her body was eaten by dogs. And Ahab's family were all killed. Thus Naboth was avenged. And once again, I want to emphasize the importance of my paperclip theory. Even if you miss the entire month of March, put a fat paperclip around the whole month. I know it's so tempting to want to read in order. I am typically very OCD about never jumping ahead in any book or story, but think about it. It's not as if the Bible is chronological anyway. Now, there are chronological Bibles out there, and I have read through those, but this isn't one. And it's not as if you'll ruin the ending, right? You already know the ending. If it takes 15 minutes a day, you only need to miss 4 days to then need an hour of reading to catch up. Trust me, most people that attempt that will get discouraged and quit. So please heed the paperclip advice. Adding one extra reading a day is much more manageable, or one chapter, or however you want to do it, or at the end of the next year. It's much easier and more manageable to do, and you'll have less accumulated unopened emails from me, because I'm sure you save those and open every email with all of your readings. Of course, I'm joking. You don't have to. They're just there for your benefit, for encouragement, and to kind of jump into more reading and digging if you so choose. Tomorrow, finally, is a day off, but please read about the danger of a divided heart. That's on your reflection and worship page. Then it'll be 2 Kings, a new book, 1 through 3. Happy reading!